everyone. I almost forgot about going live today. I'm not going to lie to you. I got totally engrossed in a podcast I was listening to. I am really sorry if you've been waiting for me. So today I really want to talk to you guys about fireworks, because I know in the UK this is coming up because November 5th is bonfire night, Guy Fawkes, or fireworks night, whatever you want to call it. And I know this is a pretty pivotal part for a lot of puppy parents, and essentially I want you guys to go into this prepared, and I want you to really kind of start today. To be fair, we should have started a while ago, but we can start now. It's never too late. I'm hoping that getting this in sort of 5 days pre-Halloween as well will mean that we're gonna miss a lot of it. So essentially we want to make sure that the first fireworks night for puppy is the best experience possible, okay? So that basically if we lay the right foundations now, it means that as pup gets older and turns into your awesomest best friend of a dog, because you've been using pup dates and listening to me and following me. Oh my good gosh, my hair is frizzy at the moment, huh? But because you've been working with me and you've been following me on social media and you've signed up to your pup dates, that you've got a phenomenal dog. And part of having a phenomenal dog that is a wonderful member of your family is being able to go do family stuff, go see a fireworks display without having a dog that's home stressing all on their own. And basically it means that to start with, when puppy's home and you've just got pup, that you're investing a little bit of time to make sure that puppy is happy and confident around these big scary fireworks that make the whole world explode and become this big flash of light and this really loud scary bang. Because let's face it, dog senses are their hearing is much better than ours. And we can't explain to them that this is something that we do. And it's something that so many dogs, full adult dogs, struggle with, that they don't need to struggle with. That for me, it's one of those things that's I sympathise when I see all of people on social media, particularly Facebook, going, oh, you need to consider your neighbours who don't like fireworks. It's okay, they don't like fireworks, but they can be a lot more confident with them, given that you know that this is going to be at least annual as part of your dog's life. And I believe that we set our dogs up for success, and that's what I want to talk to you about today, because there's various ways that we can do that, and we can start this journey with you and your puppy, because it's totally doable. You don't have to have a dog that's scared of fireworks. And if you set them up in this sort of way, you won't have a dog that's scared of fireworks. So you're not going to want to leave them alone for their very first fireworks night. Let me start there. This year, write it off and just sort of say, well, pup's learning. Let's see how they actually do, and let's see what the benchmark is. Hey, thank you for joining. It's really nice to see people joining. And if you've got any questions, ping them to me by all means. So to start with, we really want to see you home with pup. You're not going to make a big deal out of it. It's going to be a normal evening as far as puppy is concerned. Okay. The next thing I want you to do is to train. Shockingly. I want you to look at what you're doing with pup, and I want you to consider the times when you play, the times when you feed, the times when you're training. And I want you, for the next few days, to find a track on YouTube. Please excuse my incredibly bruised finger. That was a leash injury from yesterday, which I think I might have broken my finger on, but I'll tell you about that another time. So yeah, I want you to train in these moments. And it's a really, really easy way of training, okay? Go onto YouTube, Google fireworks, or search fireworks. Don't Google it in YouTube, that's a weird thing to say. Search for a video on fireworks, and all I want you to do is put that on your phone, on your TV, on whatever device that you can get a little bit of volume on, or is close to where you're doing whatever it is that you're doing. And I want you to play those firework sounds really, really quietly. Because what we're going to do here is essentially create an association with this noise, fireworks, with good things. Then the association between the noise of fireworks means that play happens. The association between the noise of fireworks and food. The association between the noise of fireworks and training, which your puppy, I'm sure, enjoys, even if you don't at times. So capitalize on these moments. Play it really, really softly to start, and just see what their reaction is. I'm guessing they're not going to pay any attention whatsoever, which is the ideal way that you want this to happen, okay? So the ideal is that they're just going to carry on playing with you with these little teeny tiny pops in the background that are just not going to really faze them much at all. So when you see that the next day, you can increase the volume a little bit, okay? But I want you to see repeat success before that happens. So try and like leverage as much as you can on your play sessions, your training and dinner time and stuff like that. So then the next day, I want you to play it a little louder the next day, a little louder the next day, until we get to fireworks night on November 5th, when it's all going to go crazy, okay? So the louder you can get it and the more comfortable you can get your dog with this, the less stress they are going to have on fireworks night, okay? So that's kind of your second part. Your third part is you are going to want to make sure your curtains are closed, okay, when these things start going off. You are going to want to make sure that your windows are shut. And that sounds really basic, but do you know how many times people forget stuff like that? You're going to want to make sure that if they're in their bed at this time, that you've added in some fluffy things, so like blankets, bedding, cushions, whatever it is that you can trust your puppy with. Even soft toys work really well to dampen the sound so that it's not reverberating around. Hey Becky, lovely to see you. So yeah, just trying to make sure that that sound is making as minimal impact as possible. I'll tell you what is really, really good for this. If you don't have like an excess of blankets and stuff, moving blankets. I've learnt this from trying to do my podcast, that moving blankets are some of the most sound dampening things that you can get, and they are super cheap. So if you are struggling for ideas, or you want to hang something over your windows for like a temporary thing, because I know not all of us have curtains. I don't have curtains in this room, for example, but moving blankets are wonderful. They've got rivets in the corners. I've actually got some behind me. I'll show you those at some point. And they've got rivets in the corners, so you can hang them on anything. You can really easily like pop them up and just, you know, tap a small nail in somewhere, a little pin, whatever, and it will hang really wonderfully. So it will not only black out the room, but it will help dampen the noise, and it will dampen the noise a lot better than you expect, because they use them to like create fake sound booths for podcasting, which is awesome. So yeah, if you can cover the crate, that works really well. Moving blankets, general blankets, whatever you can do to bring the sound levels down and create a really nice, calm environment. I mean, obviously, your dog's got to like their crate beforehand. Please don't be locking them in a crate if they are not crate trained and they are not happy in their crate. You want to make sure that they love their crate if you're going to do that. So then I want to talk real quick about a slightly controversial thing, which is CBD. CBD is something I swear by for these sorts of moments, because I've used it not only for when Indy went on a plane, which was a hell of a new experience, but I use it for Shelby, who wasn't quite through her fireworks training, who is noise sensitive. When July 4th came, which over in the States, which is where I'm based, despite the accent, so yeah, in the States, when fireworks night came here, so July 4th, Shelby wasn't quite as well trained as I would liked her to have been. So I popped some CBD into their food as a regular dosage so 2 days prior to July 4th. So we started then. I started on a low dose, scaled it up to the full dose as recommended by the packet. So if you want to bring it down to a third, and then scale it up to 2/3 for the next meal, and full dosage for the next meal. Obviously, if you can, do try them on CBD before you get to that stage, because it's not all dogs get on with it, but touch wood, I've never actually found a dog that doesn't. So, but it's always worth testing these things in a really small dosage and seeing how they work before you go into the big scary night. So if you are terribly worried, try that. Scale them up in their general meals and see if you can bring the calmness in a slightly more mandatory manner, I suppose is probably the way to say it. But please don't use CBD as an excuse to not train your dog. It's not an excuse. It is just a way that you can aid in these situations, particularly if you know you've got a nervous pup. Okay, so that nervousness that your puppy might have shown towards loud noises already. For example, if you've dropped a plate and they've scattered out the room. If they've shown that sort of disposition, you're going to want to be really careful with fireworks night, okay? So in the US, I use Austin & Cat. In the UK, I actually can't remember the brand, I'm really sorry. If I find it, I'll figure it out. You can also use, sorry Becky, I just get into that. Yeah, I don't remember the place that I used for CBD oil. I actually got my CBD treats in my local raw feeding shop, because my local raw feeders who were Embark on Raw were phenomenal, and I trusted Dave and his team to the utmost. So if you are Essex based, they are genuinely like a cut above with their knowledge, and they know every product that goes into that store, and they know every product that's going to work, and they don't support anything that won't, which is great. Having a store like that you can trust is wicked. Gosh, talk about 90s throwback there. Excuse that. The next thing I want to talk about is music. Music can actually be really powerful. Not only is there a YouTube channel entirely dedicated to soothing music for dogs, which is called Relax My Dog, I do believe, or if it's not Relax My Dog, it's Relax My Pet. You've also got a little device called Relaxo Pet. I don't have one, but I've heard raving reviews from people that I very much trust about this product. And essentially it uses some pretty funky technology from what I understand, and it actually doesn't matter if your dog is deaf for this. It actually goes in through the fur and uses those vibrations to get the right result, which is slightly scary as far as I'm concerned, but hey, if it works, it works, and I've heard some really great reviews about it. So if you do have the budget to spend, this is a phenomenal tool. You can grab it on Amazon, and it's just called Relaxo Pet. And yeah, it's interesting. It's really interesting to sort of see the effects that these sorts of things can have. But music, and then recent study found out that reggae, of all things, is one of the most phenomenal, I'm exaggerating there, but reggae is known for having the most relaxing effect on dogs. Not classical, not rock. There was various genres of music used, but this test showed that reggae was the most relaxing. I'm sure there's a joke there to be had, but I won't be making it. So yeah, you can use music too. This will have the added effect of drowning out the volume of the fireworks, the big bangs that happen, and it will have the effect of calming, which is wonderful. We love a nice calm dog, especially when it's first fireworks night. And this kind of is going to set the precedent for like the rest of pup's life. Particularly you want to be careful if they are in their second fear phase, which happens depending on the size of your dog. and on breed and various other factors, somewhere between 6 months and 18 months, which I really wish I could narrow that down for you. But if you've got a larger dog, it's going to happen later. Smaller dog, likely earlier. So if you're hitting that sort of a phase with your pup, please, please, please watch this time, okay? So take as many precautions as you can in this. The last one is chews and soothing enrichment toys like topples, kongs. You can even use like a buffalo horn. I loved stuffing a buffalo horn for Indy. That was one of his favourite things in the whole wide world. Kong could care less. Buffalo horn, that was where life was at for Indy. So if you can pick something that they are going to lick slowly, licking is actually like a really relaxing thing for dogs to do, and puppies, of course. When I say dogs, I mean dogs and puppies. And it just means that you can actually like give them a thing. Here's a task for you to do. Here's something for you to focus on, and you can forget the outside world. Totally forget it. Okay, and I've got some wonderful recipes that I'm happy to share with you guys for kongs. I've actually even got a previous, I've actually got a reel on it, I think, if I've not already. Oh, and a live. I've got a live on it too from one of my recipes. And you can just use those like with their regular food, with a little bit of either cottage cheese, peanut butter, sour cream. I think I mean natural yogurt, sorry. Honey, anything that you've kind of got in the house, even banana. Banana works great. Apples, carrots, whatever you've got. You can make something, I promise you, out of whatever you've got in the fridge, and if not, challenge me. I will find you a recipe for it. So, and then if you really want to like eke out every inch of calmness, put a little teeny tiny bit of CBD in it. The best thing that I did for Shelby was I made, so Indy's raw fed. At the time, Shelby wasn't at all. We've transitioned her onto part raw now. So Shelby got a real treat of raw stuffed in a Kong, which had been pre-mixed with CBD, which was taking her up to the max dosage. So she'd had like the general sort of passive hits throughout the day, and then she'd got that extra little bit just coming in slightly before the fireworks did. Okay, and actually that's a really good point with CBD. Please try and do it before the fireworks happen so that the CBD has time to kick in and bring them down. So yeah, that Kong was like her favorite thing in the whole wide world, because it was raw meat, which is like the ultimate treat for most dogs, that she could lick slowly and get out of the Kong. So relaxing again, real big treat, real big focus, relaxing licking, and then CBD, which just sort of took all the pain out of it. And my husband, who's gone through 5 July 4ths with Shelby previously, turned around and was like, I have never seen her this calm, ever, let alone when there's big fireworks going off. These sorts of methods are not only great for fireworks night, they're great for, shockingly, things like Diwali, things like New Year's. So you can reuse these tips for then. And you can also use them for storms. So if you've got a dog that's sensitive to thunderstorms, and you know that the UK or the US, to my US audience, you know that there's a great big storm rolling in, it's a great time to pull out these little bits of training. You can obviously desensitize if they've already developed a fear. You can do that then too. You can train and bring them down whilst exposing them to noises and things like on YouTube, like I discussed earlier, by creating positive association. So that, in a real quick recap, I'm going to try and keep this quick. You want to mimic the sounds, firstly, and foremostly, when they are distracted and working or playing, and creating positive associations between the noise of fireworks and the activity that you're doing, the fun, enjoyable activity. You want to create as much of a dampened environment as you can, so sound and light. Make sure that your windows are shut, your curtains are drawn, and you've got enough sort of padding and things So even like going to the quietest room in the house, like if you've got a larger house and there's one room more in the middle that's like got more distance from the outside to the inside, even that's a great way of doing things. You can take advantage of long-lasting chews and treats like that. So like cow hoofs, buffalo horns are great. If you can stuff them, that's even better. And you can use a Kong or a topple in the same sort of way. You can use CBD. Please use this carefully and as directed on the pack. Please do not exceed dosages because that's just not worth the risk. And try and test it beforehand. And lastly, you can use music. Okay, because music is really, really powerful. No problem, Becky. I hope this helps, buddy. I'm sure you guys are pros at this by now. But if you needed any help, it's there. And to anybody else, if you've got any questions, if you need any more answers, just give me a shout. I try and make myself as available as possible. And if you need any guidance, it means I've forgotten something and I can help other people with that advice too. So ping me your questions, whether you want to put it as a comment on this or if you want to DM me if you want like just a little bit of extra advice on stuff. So on that note, I am going to leave you because I think this has been a very long video. And hopefully you guys are really set up for fireworks night. I will be sharing some more, well, probably very similar tips, but up until the date. And I am going to go live on, say, Thursday with some tips for Halloween. Okay, so just to make sure that you're all safe and sound for Halloween, which can be a problem for some dogs. So again, let's set your puppy up, right? And I will see you on Thursday. See you later, guys. Bye.